There we go. All right. Father, we're grateful for the blessings of this beautiful day. Father, we ask you to watch over us and guide us with thy spirit. These things we pray in thy son's name. Amen. Yeah. So, welcome to Talking Shit with Jack Shit. We got this new write-up thing here that we're going to start reading from now on when we come in. So, I just said welcome to the Hobo Hideaway. This is Talking Shit. I'm your host, Jack Shit. Just so we're all on the same page, everything here is shared for educational, documentary, and entertainment purposes only. We aren't looking to sell or trade any items shown. Also, keep in mind that opinions shared belong solely to whoever is behind the mic or keyboard at the time. Please keep your comments polite and respectful. And remember, kindness is key. Now let's get started. So yeah, my wife got me all that printed up. I'm going to start doing that, reading it. This is called a disclosure or whatever, like a disclaimer. Disclaimer, that's the right word. Basically, I like to talk about things here and I like to give my opinion. That's the whole segment. The whole segment is Talking Shit with Jack Shit. And I'm Jack Shit. So welcome to my show. And I don't necessarily always have a topic for which I want to talk about or discuss. I just kind of talk about whatever comes to mind most of the time. We've been playing around with topics and researching topics and mostly songs and word of the day. Yeah, today she told me the word of the day was focus. Focus, focus. And it's an acronym. And you say it to somebody that's pissing you off or getting on your nerves or, just downright being annoying. You tell them, hey, listen, focus. And it means fuck off because you're stupid. And that goes in with my shirt here. Yeah, anyway. You can get these shirts in my merch store, by the way. I know I just said nothing's for sale or trade, but we do got a merch store. Oh, I don't sell or trade my artwork. Everything's a gift. Yep. And I don't buy other people's artwork either normally because I can make it myself. If I want it, I can make it myself. Though I have been known to commission other people's artwork to be delivered somewhere else for somebody else. Because if I like your artwork that much, I'm going to buy it as a gift for like my friends and my family and my, whatever. Because that's the way, man. And I saw somebody else, another YouTube content creator, talking about how, it's nice that we subscribe to each other's channels and it's nice that we, give a thumbs up and share and watch the videos and whatever to support each other. But when it comes right down to it, when you support an artist, the only real way to support an artist is to purchase their artwork. And I like that. I like what he said about that. I mean, one of the main reasons I gave up and just don't sell my artwork is because I got tired of haggling with people over what I figure my artwork is worth. When I calculate in my overhead costs, what it cost me to make a project, how much time I put into making that project, and all whatever other factors, stress and whatever else is involved. And I calculate that up and equate it to a monetary, dollar sign value. The person that wants to purchase the art says, well, hell, that's not worth it to me. I ain't going to pay that much for that. And Well, then I'm like, all right, whatever. But I make my artwork because it gives me great joy. I don't make my artwork because I need the money. If it was about just the money, I wouldn't be able to, me, in my personality, I would not be able to create because with my personality type, whatever that means, and it's been like this my whole life, I can't do anything unless I'm passionate about it. I can't do anything just for a monetary incentive. Sorry, I had to switch videos. I got Granny's Southern Corner playing on the television right now. Binge watching her today, getting caught up on the videos. And I got it on mute right now because I'm making my own video. Um, Something she said a little while ago inspired me. I mean, it didn't trigger me. It inspired me. I love Granny. She's cool. She's like my buddy, man. I'm telling you, one of the main things I really love about this lady is, she reminds me of my mama, and she just in the way she talks and conversates and everything, she like grounds me, brings me back down to level like thinking and all that. And uh, you know, she's talking right now. I mean, what most people would say would be silly and mundane, but it's not. Right now, she's talking about advertiser on, and I don't know exactly what she's saying because, like I said, I got her on mute. But she's holding a newspaper up with the advertiser talking about gardening supplies. And by the way, her garden, oh, phenomenal. She's down there in Florida and one of them suburbs, so she doesn't have a whole lot of room to play with. But she utilizes every square inch, stacks it up, and just organizes. She's got a little kiddie pool with watermelons for the grandbaby. She got all these other like what do they call, tower little things, old school stuff. And oh, she has a beautiful garden. And her and Nana go out there and chill out in the garden and get some vitamin D, get that sunlight, and she just tells story, and Nana chimes in every now and again. And then Nana is hilarious. Oh my gosh, she just cracks me up. That woman is love, I'll tell you what, pure love. I don't get to a lot of their live shows. Um, I feel guilty about that. I really do. But I've got so many that I go to. It's really hard to budget and prioritize and all that. But I catch the highlights and I catch, the replays and whatnot. And the way the two of them, mother daughter team, their show, it's pretty awesome. They're really good. They're really good together. I tell you what, I like their show. I'm not going to give away all the juice. If you want to know how awesome it really is, go watch it yourself. Go watch it yourself. Just go watch it yourself. So, Granny Southern Corner, I'll have my editor put the yeah, I don't know how to even put all that. I'll have my wife put all that good stuff in the bio. She's the smart one. She edits all my videos. My wife, she edits all my videos. She does all this stuff. I couldn't do any of this stuff without. I mean, I could sitting and talking in front of camera ain't no big deal, but yeah. And then I just post it up without any editing, and it's just that. But she does all the fun editing stuff, and she does all the fun design work for everything. And all these are back here are hers. Her channel is Uniquely Twisted. You go check that out. Uniquely Twisted. She is a phenomenal artist. She got me all up in it. I mean, I always loved art my whole life. But, the systems, the school systems, and all the systems at play that try to stifle us and keep us from being connected to the divine, to our inner self, to our divine spark. All those systems, since we enter them, are designed to stifle us from our imagination and to disconnect us. And so we end up forgetting how to do artwork. And I come across people all the time that they talk about how awesome our artwork and whatever it is, and they whatever. And to me and my wife, it's like whatever. And we're not even happy with it most of the time. We're like, oh man, I could have done that better. I screwed it up. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna throw it in the wood pile. I'm gonna throw it in the burn pile. And, and of course, someone will come along. No, I love it. Oh my gosh, that's totally awesome. Oh my gosh, I could never do anything of that. And I'm like, yeah, you could. Anybody could. That's just it. Anybody could do any of this stuff. All you got to do is get yourself a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, and get yourself a pencil, and you can just put the pencil on the paper and just start moving it. All right, and you got your basic geometric designs. You got your circle. All right, can't really see it. You got a circle. All right, and you got a square. See that? Look at that. Put the circle and the square right there. Circle and a square. And then you got a triangle. Look at that. Circle, square, and a triangle. Those are the basic shapes. Basic shapes. It doesn't take much more than that. And then, look at that. Add a couple little lines here and there. And look at that. I got a little person, man. Circle, a square, and a triangle. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. We'll give them a little bit of eyeballs, a little bit of smiley face, some little curly hairs. Look at that. We've got the crazy lady just come out of bed. Woo, circle, square, and a triangle. That's it. That's anybody can draw. Look, I did that on the back of my disclaimer thing. Oh, shame on me. But it really is. You take a circle, a square, and a triangle, and you can elongate your circle, and you get an oval. All right, and then you get the shape of an egg, an oval. You take your circle and elongate a little bit. You take your square and stretch it out, and you get a rectangle. You take your triangle and stretch it out, and you get a longer triangle. You take them from a two-dimensional and you wrap them around. You can make yourself a cylinder. You can make a sphere. You can make yourself a cone. That's where it's the triangle and then rounded and pointed on top and rounded. It's a cone. You can make a cube. Good stuff. Pyramids. And just from those three basic shapes, the circle, the square, and the triangle, you can then expand and get just about anything and everything that you can think of. Your imagination can just poof, go crazy. And then when it comes to coloring, well, you got your three primary colors. The three primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So, your three primary colors are 1, 2, 3, red, yellow, and blue. Yeah, so red, yellow, and blue are your primary colors, and then you can mix those together to get other colors. So if you take your blue and your yellow in equal proportions, 1 drop of blue, 1 drop of red, you're going to end up with green. If you take 1 drop of yellow, what did I say, red? 1 drop of yellow, 1 drop of blue, get you green. 1 drop of blue, 1 drop of red, get you violet. 1 drop of red and 1 drop of yellow, get you orange. Sorry, my brain malfunctions sometimes. Yeah, and then you can add black and white to get different shades of things. Cat. Your cat. Cat. Kitty, kitty, cat. Anyway, it's good stuff. Art is fun, and it's all about using your imagination and creating things and whatnot. Yeah. Did she change videos again? You wearing a different shirt? No, same video. Anyway, but Yeah, I don't know what else I was going to talk about if I was talking about anything at all. But yeah, no, it's easy to create things, and um, so I tell people all the time, you just get out there and do it, and it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And I'm not good at everything, and I'm not really good at a lot of things. I just keep doing what I do over and over again, and the more I do it, the better I get at it. The more I try, the better I get at it. And it's just like trying to get things done too. Ambulance just went down around the corner. I'm worried about my neighbors. Got to take care of your neighbors, man. That's the thing. You got to take care of your neighbors. You got to take care of each other. And yeah, man, I'm way behind. This video that just came up is 2 months old. You know, I was been watching her pretty regular for a long time, but um, I go around watching everybody's videos, and a lot of people anyway. I can't say everybody because there's millions and millions of people out there, and on my subscription list there are thousands of people, and man, I just can't watch everybody. It's not possible. So and I don't expect everybody to come and watch my videos. It's not possible. That's just too much to expect out of anybody. You just got to decide who you relate to, and you don't. Nobody out there should ever feel obligated, under any circumstances, to watch somebody's channel and somebody's video for any reason at all. Not at all. Not at all. Nobody out there is required to watch my videos, not under any circumstances whatsoever. Just because I subscribe to somebody else's channel doesn't mean they have to subscribe to my channel. Just because I watch somebody else's video does not mean they have to watch my videos. Just because I leave comments and a thumbs up on other people's channel does not mean they got to go to my channel and give me a thumbs up or a view count or a comment or anything else. It's not required by law. It doesn't, it's just not required. And for people to expect of others is, well, just straight up redonkulous. Just knock it off. It's just don't do it. And I'll tell you, my personality type again, I'm the type of person that when you come at me and start bossing me around and demanding me and all that, man, you're going to get a rebel. I'm going to rebel. I'm going to tell you to go where to stick it. And I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I do not comply. I do not conform. I just don't. I do what the spiritual realm compels me to do. That's the only compliance and conforming I adhere to, is the spiritual realm. They are the bosses, man. They hold the highest authority over me. There is no authority in this whole man-made realm, physical realm. Not one authority here in this physical realm that is higher than the spiritual realm. Period. 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 No ifs, ands, buts, or coconuts. Yeah. So, I could never be one of those people that just do things because I was following orders. I tried to join the military, but they wouldn't take me. They wouldn't take me because of that personality defect, as they called it. Man, that's one of my greatest, what's it called, assets. To be able to think for myself and not be able to blindly follow orders of evil people. Some of the most evilest things that have ever been perpetuated on this planet were perpetuated by good people, just following orders. Good people just following orders. you know. And then those good people, once they've done it already, they can't undo it. They realize. And then they got to live with that PTSD for the rest of their lives. Ooh, this is a good one. Bedtime stories. She reads Little House on the Prairie for bedtime stories. It's already got a thumbs up, which means I've already watched it. The Long Winter, Chapter 2. Yeah, I love Little House on the Prairie. That was always one of my most favorite shows to watch growing up. I always liked to imagine that I got to live that way and grow up that way. Yeah, even in my time growing up, which was very primitive compared to the world that we live in today, it was still too technologically advanced for my taste, you know. And oh, that's what it was that she was talking about earlier that triggered me, or I mean, inspired me. She was talking about preparedness. She was talking about how important it is that we need to be prepared for any unseen, unfortunate disaster, and all that. She was talking about how when COVID hit, Amazon boomed in business because everybody was stuck at home and had to order stuff for delivery. Well, what happens when Amazon goes down and your phone service goes down? There's no running water, there's no grocery stores, there's no fast food, there's no delivery service. And what happens when you have to figure out how to cook on an open fire and you have to learn how to forage and hunt and all of that? What happens when you have to, try to figure out if you're going to ask for help from your neighbor or if your neighbor's just going to kill you? Because, that happens, in those kind of dire situations. That's when you realize who is human and who is not, real quick. And there are a lot of those people that look human that are not. Of course, if you look that word human up in the legal dictionary, you're going to be amazed at what you find. Anyway, I'll let you do your own homework. But I thought that was pretty important, was to be able to be prepared. And what reminded me that was, like I said, she's reading The Little House on the Prairie, Laura Ingalls Wilder, and they lived. That was our ancestors. That was our great grandparents. They lived that way. They lived off the land. They knew that everything that grew out there could be used for food and medicine. And they knew how to use it for food and medicine. They did not have grocery stores. They ate healthy foods that grew outside wild, naturally. And that's just it. We mow our lawns every year, and I complain about this every year. I haven't had to start mowing yet this year. It's still too cold, but it is starting to get green out there, and it is starting to come to life. And I haven't seen any tulips yet, but I got my daylilies popping, and I hope my tulips didn't all die off. I had daffodils and tulips over here on the side house. Um, I'm gonna have to get out there and check it out because they should be popping right about now. Anyway, see, I do that. I get all distracted by my own rabbit holes and squirrels, bright, shiny squirrels running down the rabbit holes. Oh, goodness gracious. Easter, man. Yeah, we got Easter coming up. This town I live in, Newton, Iowa, is doing this really awesome Easter egg hunt on the 4th of April, and it starts at noon. And I'm going to hide some eggs. And they're made out of glass, these eggs, glass eggs. And those glass eggs, they come from Fuego Glass. Fuego Glass. That's 3 I have to mention now. I got to keep track of these, man. At any rate, so yeah, all the towns and all of the businesses in town bought some eggs, and they're going to hide them. And at 12 noon on Saturday, April 4th, the whole town gets to go out and go Easter egg hunting looking for these glass eggs. and it's all about promoting commerce through the town and whatnot. It's one of the things I really love about living in a small town is how they get really inventive to, drive commerce, to, pick up and boost commerce. And, this town here, they do bike night during the summer. Like, I think it's once a month. They do a live concert, and all the motorcycles come out, and you hear all the rah, 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 all over town. Um, and we're like 3 blocks from the town square right here, so we get to hear it all, and we get to see it all coming through. All the hot rod muscle cars come through town. And for all you young people that don't know what a hot rod muscle car is, that's all them old cars from the 1940s and 50s and 60s. I suppose they include some of the 70s in there as well. I mean, dude next door got himself a 70. Then he said it was a 1971 Chevy pickup truck. That's still considered a hot rod. Once you fix it up, it's still a muscle car hot rod. I think pretty much anything younger, or I mean older. Yeah, that's the correct way to look at it. Older than 1974 would be considered a muscle car hot rod classic. Um, Anything after 1975, I would just plain consider it garbage. I mean, I just would. It would just garbage. But pretty much all this stuff from back in the day, you could interchange parts and all that whatnot. The really cool muscle cars, old school, old school, were the Model A's and Model T frame type. It was the Model A buckets, and they'd make rat rods out of them. That's what they called them, rat rods. And they'd put the modern V8 engine with all the slams and the boosters and the pipes, and yeah, oh, dude, yeah. And it was a thing, and you would just piece together Frankenstein cars and go out street racing, and it was all about building the fastest, craziest looking car. That was back in the like 30s and 40s, 50s. Yeah. Yeah, most of that stuff's rotten in somebody's yard or just completely gone now, turned to dust. These young folks today, most of them anyway, they'll clean out the grandparents' house after grandparent passed away, and they just take all that stuff and throw it to the dump or the Goodwill store or whatever. They have no clue what any of it, the nostalgia of it, they don't have any clue what the value of it is. And I ain't even talking monetary value. I'm talking memory value. They don't care about photo albums or family history or any of it. And the government is, or government's a bunch of puppets. We won't even complain about them on this subject. The powers that be, the elitists, the reptilian overlords, they like to delete history on a regular basis, and it makes it really easy for them to delete the history when the young people don't care about it. And if the young people don't care about the history at all, then it doesn't even take any effort on their part, the lizard people on their part whatsoever, to delete the history. Yeah, good times. So yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's all silliness. Just a bunch of talking shit with jack shit. That's the way. Yeah, and from now on, I'm not going to give a title to these segments anymore. We're just going to call them Talking Shit. So from now on, that's what they are, talking shit with jack shit. Woo! All right. Well, good luck to everybody out there. Till next time, remember, kindness is key, and I love you. Later.